guys, welcome back. So today is day 35 of the daily arithmetic challenge. So on the screen for you now are the first 6 questions for you to have a go at. Pause the screen, have a go at them. There are then a couple more on the next slide, and then once you have done all 10 in total, if you press play, we will go through the answers together. Time to go through the answers then. First question on the screen is a nice and straightforward subtraction question, just making sure that you know to exchange across the place values. So the answer for that one is 6,700. Number 22 again is another quite straightforward subtraction. The only reason that this question could be a little bit tricky is because there is quite a lot of exchanging across, because some of the numbers are too small for the subtraction. So the answer for that one is 72,474. Number 23, again, is a fairly nice and straightforward subtraction. It's just making sure that you remember that the decimal point hides behind the whole number if in a number where you can't see the decimal. So instead of it just being 13, I've put 13.00 so that I have got 2 digits above the 8 and the 2. They're only placeholders at the moment, but once you start doing the subtraction, obviously you can see that you're going to need to have something there. And the answer for that one is 2.18. Number 24, you have got 20.4 subtract 5.66, making sure your decimals are in the correct place value, and then everything else should be easy peasy. And the answer to that one is 14.74. Number 25, we've got 31 multiplied by 38, and I appear to have cut the top off that question, which is really helpful. So as you can't see, I have multiplied all of my digits together and remembered when I'm multiplying by the 3 that it's actually 30 and not 3, which is why it's in a circle. So I have to remember to put my 0 down there when I'm multiplying by that digit, add my 2 answers together, and I have got the answer 1,178. Number 26, a lovely multiplying of fractions question. As soon as you get one of those in a test, you can celebrate because it's the easiest fraction question to do. You just multiply your numerators together and your denominators together, and that is your answer. So obviously 1 multiplied by 1 is 1, and 6 multiplied by 4 is 24. Don't fall into the trap of thinking 1 multiplied by 1 is 2. That's 1 add 1. A 2-digit number. Now, we're not saying we expect you to know your 13 times tables off the top of your head, although they're not a particularly challenging multiplication to do. So as you can see underneath, I've written out my multiples of 13. If you don't know them, you can literally just add 13 on every time. Just make sure that you pay attention to that. And then you do the division the same way that you've done all the other ones, and that should give the answer 253. Finding 23% of 320, so for this one I found 10%, which was 32, by dividing that answer by 10. I then found 1%, which was 3.2, and again have divided my 10% by 10. And then I multiplied my 10% by 2 to get 20%, which is 64. Then I multiplied my 1% by 3 to get 3%, which is 9.6. And then I added those two numbers together, which is 73.6. Number 29, you've got 8 multiplied by 5 and 1/4. So for this one I would partition it, and I would do 8 times 5, which is 40, and then I would do 8 times 1/4. Now you could either do this by turning the 8 into a fraction, which is obviously going to be 8 over 1, because you've got 8 whole lots of 1 there, and then doing the multiplication as normal. So 8 times 1 is 8, 1 times 4 is 4. Or it's essentially trying to find a quarter of that number, a quarter of 8, which is 2, because 8 over 4 actually is equivalent to 2 as a whole number, because you've got 2 lots of 4 in 8. Now, just remember that in the answer, you should give the answer 42, not 40 and 8 over 4, because 8 over 4 can turn into a proper number, not an improper fraction. Number 30, you've got a straightforward subtraction. It's just multiplied by a 2-digit number. Just got to remember that that 6 is really 60. So when you come to multiply all of your numbers by 6, you need to place a 0 down there first, so that we know that that one's been multiplied by 10. And then add your answers together, which would give you 130,555.